not bonded and certified and insured.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, this is, I'll give a chance, Tom, you request to speak on this, and come on up and again introduce yourself and address, please.
Mayor, councilors, my name is Tom Eskridge. I live at 13943 South Herman Road. And as you probably all know, I'm the chief petitioner on the vehicle referendum. One thing I want to say before I start is how much time do I have?
We'd like to keep it down.
Okay, well I won't go for too long. I would like to tell you that in the time I've been coming here, Councilor Pottle asked me a question. Why do I care? Why do I come here? I don't live in the city. Well, I do business here in the city, and I buy groceries in the city, and I buy gas here in the city, and the money that you charge the businesses come back to me. Okay, so I want to tell you that I think you're all doing a very good job, better than I thought you were when I first started coming here and seeing what was going on. So I want to congratulate all of you for, in my eyes, doing a better job. This bill that passed through our legislature, that everybody talks about it being a $5 bill. It's not $5. There's specific language in here that they can increase it to $43 at any time. If we were to let this stand, then it would be $43 instantly. And because you show the graphs up there, you know, you're going to get what was the number? $22,000 if it's $5, and $221 or so $1,000 if it's $40. What are you going to choose? Well, you probably won't choose it, but our council, our commissioners will choose it, and it will be $43. And I have 3 cars. That adds $129 a year to my cost. Right now I'm unemployed. I don't have $129 more to pay for my cars. And I've talked to people in the process of doing this that have a 10 or 11 cars, and they're sitting there thinking, well, it's going to be $1,000 more a year for them to register their cars. Now, granted, maybe they don't need that many cars. Okay, but is that ours to choose whether they need those or not? Ours is a chance to be fair. And we live in a republic, and we vote you people in to make decisions and pass laws that govern what we do and how we act and what we pay. Luckily, Oregon is a state that allows for initiatives and referendums. There are only 24 states in the country that allow that, but Oregon is one. And that's where the people have a chance to have a voice in what goes on that you people that we elect do. And that gives us the democratic vote, and so that's why we did this. I am very, I guess, passionate about this now, because for 40 years I didn't look at this. I believe that we vote people in, they do a good job. But I see our country running off a cliff. And I see folks like yourselves sitting here spending money. You know, right now the planning department's what, 200 grand in the hole? I see these kind of things going on. Where does it stop? And it stops when people like me stand up and say no. And that's what we have done, is we have gone out and stood in the rain, and stood in the cold, and stood in the wind, and asked people if they were willing to sign a petition to vote on this. And you know, this isn't about the Sellwood Bridge. I believe the Sellwood Bridge is going to get built anyway, and I think it should get built. But this is about whether we can be forced to pay more money from our pockets without any say-so whatsoever. That's what I have to tell you. Thank you for listening. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
In the process, you collected the signatures. Obviously, you're going all over Clackamas County, correct?
That's correct. We had probably as many as 250 to 300 people volunteering, and we have 1 paid petitioner.
Okay, the reason why I asked this, there's only out of almost 8,000 people in Malala, there's only about 2,800 that are actually registered voters.
Right.
So how many do you think that are in Clackamas County that aren't registered voters?
We gathered 9,972 signatures. Of those 9,972 signatures, we had an excess of 100 signatures that put this on the ballot. So,
Well, you got 9,000, give or take.
Yeah.
Out of 350, give or take.
right,
You know, it's, I like to see us have a voice in all this, not as city council, but as an individual who has 7 vehicles.
there you go.
My taxes on my house this year were $8,000, and I live right here in town.
Right,
So I have a, for better words, heartache about all of this, which we're not talking about home taxes, but vehicle registration taxes, I can understand that, but I can't understand the price we're paying, and unless we stop it, but it's very different in black and white that the people that we voted in, which are the, you know, Clackamas County Commissioners and so forth and so on, they make the rules, and that's big politics. We're not big politics here.
they do, but in this state, we have a referendum right to call them onto account when we believe they've done something that is not in our best interest. And that's what we did. And we obeyed the law, and we got it put on the ballot, but the people have the right to vote. You have the right to vote, yes or no, whether you want to pay that money. And if the people vote yes, pay the money, I'll pay the money. If they say no, we will not pay the money, then guess what? You don't have to pay that money. And what it means is it's doubling the amount of money you're gonna pay every year to register your vehicles.
Okay, bottom line, what are you hoping to gain if this passes? What is the picture you're looking for if this passes?
If my,
If we
if
don't
my
have to
referendum
pay,
passes,
if we don't pay,
what I'm looking for is not having to pay my money out to fund, infrastructure in another county, and not having the county commissioners and the state tell me that they're gonna raise my taxes without me having to say so.
okay, put the shoe on the other foot. What if it does pass?
Then I'll pay the money. Then we have had a democratic vote, and that is what our country is about. That is what everything tells me is right. Everything from our Constitution and our Bill of Rights has built up to where the people have a right to vote.
Well, I appreciate all you're doing.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Any other questions?
My understanding was that the county, excuse me, the county did not have to participate in this until 2013.
That's correct. The county, or the county and the cities would receive no money from this until 2013. That's
And
correct.
that Washington County was also, could have participated, but they opted not to.
I believe that's right. I'm not in that county and I didn't look at that.
I talked to some of the people in Washington County when I was doing my activities last year.
Well, a lot of the people we talked to would, not a lot, but some would give us a heartache story. Well, the Sellwood Bridge is gonna fall in the river and all this, and yeah, well, it needs to be fixed. It's true. But it's a question of who pays for that. And I believe that it's just my belief, but I believe that Portland and Multnomah County has spent an awful lot of their money on their bike paths and on their sustainability issues, and they shouldn't have our money.
So the point was that, number one, Clackamas County did not have to participate in the vehicle registration fee until 2013, when the state, or when the cities and the county would share in the funds, and they wouldn't have to pay any funds for the Sellwood Bridge. And Washington County exercised their discretionary rights and opted out of this program. But Clackamas County went ahead and did it in spite of the fact that there was a survey of something like 70% of the people in Clackamas County that were opposed to this, and they testified at the hearings. So I'm really happy to see that the voters will get an opportunity to vote on it, but I think that this is probably going to be passed anyway in 2013, and I'm not altogether sure that that would be a bad thing, because we need some money for our roads.
Yeah, well, I agree, we need money, and it's a question of I have to cut back on what I spend for what money I bring in. I think that a city has to balance its budget to, on what it spends for what it brings in, as does the county, as does our state and our country. And where does it stop and who stops it? And if it's not us, it's not me, it's not you, who is it? You know, we gotta start down at the bottom level to work up.
So would you want to have a voter referendum or something in 2013, whether to participate in it then?
I might be willing to participate in it then. The key thing that keyed me off initially is that I don't believe that it is a good policy to share money jurisdictionally across from one jurisdiction to another. And once that starts, where does it really stop? Now, there is money that we put into ODOT that goes into the state that gets shared out. So in some ways we do share the infrastructure for the whole state. But, you know, directly from one county commissioner saying, okay, we're going to give this other county a certain amount of money. I believe that that's not what the founding fathers would have wanted us to do. We should each be responsible for our own house. And we should be responsible for what comes in and for what goes out. And when we spend more than we bring in, we got trouble.
And one more addition.
Yeah.
All the counties with a population of 350,000 or less have to vote for it.
That's correct.
They have to put it up for
That's correct.
approval by the
it.
citizens.
That's in the state law.
Only counties with a population greater than 350,000
That's correct.
can pass it without a vote.
That's correct.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any more questions? Thank you.
I have no one else that